Hi everyone, thank you for watching my videos. In my previous videos, I have covered various topics related to fuzzing, but in this video, I'm going to cover a very simple topic, that is how do you analyze SSL traffic using Wireshark. So if you work in a security or if you handle PCAP on a day-to-day basis, then you might face this issue where you are capturing some PCAP for a website which is communicating over SSL or say on TLS, and you have captured that PCAP and later on you are not able to analyze that because the traffic is encrypted. So in this video, I'm going to show you how do you analyze such PCAPs, what you can do to get the SSL keys while you're visiting those sites and while you're capturing the traffic using Wireshark, so that it helps you later on when you want to analyze that. So first I'm going to show you the SSL traffic. We will capture it using Wireshark and we will see what kind of packet goes. So we will start Wireshark first and let's see. I have selected local area connection and I have started capturing the traffic. And now let's open a site, say gmail.com, which uses HTTPS. And so when you go to Wireshark, you will see that the traffic is encrypted. There is a client hello, there is a server hello, there is a certificate, and there is application data. So when you go to this application data, you will see that the data is actually encrypted. It is actually a HTTP2 traffic, but then you cannot do anything over here because it is encrypted. So if you want to analyze this traffic, then what you can do is that while you visit this website, before you visit this website, say gmail.com, you need to set up one environment variable, and that variable is nothing but it will actually give you the a file which generate all the SSL private keys, which later on Wireshark can use and it can decode the traffic. So to set that environment variable, simply right click on the computer, my computer, then go to properties and then go to advanced system settings, then click on environment variables, and here you need to create one new environment variable with the name that is SSL key lock file. So this is the environment variable name, and its value should be some folder where you want to save the SSL key or SSL data, which will be used by Wireshark to decode the traffic. So I'm going to show you what does this file contains. First, let's set up this variable. Since I have already created this environment variable, I clicked on edit. But in your case, if you don't have this variable, then just click on new and give the variable name as SSL key lock file and give some value or maybe some folder on your drive where you want to save this log file. So just for the simplicity, I have given it as a C drive SSL folder, and inside that SSL.log file. So my file will be generated over here, and then just click on OK, and that's it. And so this feature is supported by Google Chrome and Firefox. So what they will do is that when you start the Firefox, when you visit any site, they will check for this particular environment variable. If it is set, then they will give all the private key file, and they will store all the key into that particular file. So now let's go ahead and again open gmail.com. But before that, we need to set this value in Wireshark if we want to decode it. So every time you want to decode a new PCAP, if the file is different, then you have to change this its value. So I will show you how you can do that. So when you open Wireshark, then go to edit and go to preferences and then go to protocols and then look for TLS. So when you click on TLS, as you can see it over here at the right hand side over here, you will see that there is a pre-master secret log file name. Okay, so just click on the browse and point it to the environment variable value which you have set. So that was C drive, SSL folder, and SSL log file over here, and click on OK. So what Wireshark will do now is that it will read the file and it will extract all the keys from there, and it will try to decode all the data over here. So I will just capture some traffic, local area connection. I have started the capture, and inside the browser I will clear all the cache, and yeah, now let's open gmail.com over here. So you can see that it is an HTTPS traffic, and inside Wireshark now you will see that it started decoding all the data over here. Like you can see that this is HTTP2 data, this is decrypted TLS over here. So there are a couple of frames which it has decrypted, and the final body you can see it over here. So you can see that it is able to decode HTTP2 stream over here. There are different headers. So this is the frame type, that is data. Then there are some fragment over here. This is the data over here, and you can see over here as well. So these are the different headers like date, content length, expires, etc. There is some data over here, and resemble body data. You can see it over here as well. So you need to click on uncompressed entity body, and you can see that there is some data over here. So that is how you can actually decode your SSL traffic. And you can see one more over here. So it is the decompressed header over here, as you can see. And so it actually makes it very easy for you to analyze SSL traffic. And I'm just going to stop my Wireshark capture over here. And what you can do is that after you have captured this traffic, you can save this key file, so that later on if you want to share this PCAP with someone, then he can also use this key file and he can decode the traffic. Because if you simply store this PCAP, I will just show you, then it will be in encrypted form. Right now you are able to see the decrypted data over here because we have already given key path over here. But when you save it, say I'm just going to save it on the desktop, and let's say SSL PCAPs is Gmail. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to remove this file just to demo that it doesn't store decrypted traffic over here. There is no way as of now. So you can see that whatever we are able to see, the decoded data, we are not able to see it now because we have removed that SSL key file. So you can see that all the data is encrypted now. We don't see any uncompressed or any SSL decoded tabs over here. So this is how it looks like. And so now if you go to the folder where you have saved this PCAP, and if you open this PCAP, then you will notice that the data which you see it over here is not decrypted. You will only see encrypted data over here. So if you again want to decrypt it, you need to give that SSL log file name, and for that go to edit, click on preferences, and go to protocols, select TLS, and then inside pre-master secret log file name, just give that SSL log. So that was inside my C drive, SSL, and SSL.log file. And when you click on the OK, you will see that you are able to see all the decoded data once again, and you will see the tabs which is decrypted TLS, resembled SSL over here. So you can see all the data again over here. So if you want to share this PCAP now, then you also need to share the key. What you can do is that you can simply copy this key file and you can keep it in the same folder. You can actually rename that so that it uh, becomes very easy. So let's rename it to gmail.com keys.log, and when you open this file, uh, you open it with Notepad++. So you will see that it contains a lot of data like client handshake traffic secret, server handshake traffic secret. These are the keys which you can see it over here, and exporter secret. Yeah, so it contains all these keys which Wireshark will use to decode all the packets over here, and you can share this file. Just make sure that you don't share uh, all the files. I mean, if you have a VM, that will be good, because if you are visiting some website, then make sure, I mean, you filter out the traffic and you don't share all the key file with anyone else. So make sure you do it in a VM, because it's not a good idea to share all the keys to someone else. And so I hope that this helps you in your PKAP analysis work. And if you have any questions or queries, please feel free to comment out in my videos, and also feel free to subscribe and like my channel. That will help me to create more videos. Hope you like this video. I'm going to mention the variable environment variable name and its value in the description of this video, so you can use that as well. And thank you and goodbye till next video. Bye.